And why did you have us?
'Cause I like to screw. And your mother's a Catholic, so you figure it out.
So you and Mom never actually talked about whether you wanted kids or not?
Well, I figured if we kept on screwing, we'd end up with a couple of you.
Nebraska is a film that came out in 2013 that's directed by Alexander Payne. So Nebraska is a $50 Patreon request that comes from one of my good longtime friends, Hunter Christian. This is a film that he said he just had to request to me because it was a very special film to him for a lot of personal reasons. And I was really glad that he did, because this is a film that I heard so much about upon its release back in 2013. It was just getting so much Oscar buzz. And unfortunately, it was a film that I kind of just didn't really get around to watching. But now, thanks to my friends, I have a perfect excuse to watch this film. And not only watch it, but also share my thoughts with you guys. So after seeing Nebraska, I gotta say, I was very satisfied with this film. This is a film that I like to describe as a warm blanket film. This is a film that's really easy to watch. It's not very heavy, even though it does have its emotional moments. And that's because of a lot of different things. One of those things is the aesthetic approach to this film, whether it be the black and white presentation or just the soothing score that's woven throughout this film, but also the way that it's shot, because I remember most of this film being presented through stationary shots. The cinematography in this film isn't flashy, which to me works towards its advantage in its approach, because again, not only does it feel more subdued and feels more personal, but at the same time, it captures the kind of vastness of Nebraska, and which is basically a whole lot of nothing in a way. But at the same time, there's also in that nothingness such rich humanity in between. But even beyond the aesthetic approach to this film, this is also a comforting film because of the kind of grounded themes that this film chooses to explore. And it's kind of comforting in the same way that David Lynch's A Straight Story is also comforting, in the sense that it does tackle some deeply human themes that, again, are a bit emotional, but it's mostly in a way that isn't going to make you not ever want to watch the film again. It's approached in a way that kind of makes you want to come back to the film again and experience these interactions and these revelations and all the growth that these characters go through in the film. Bruce Dern plays the main character in this film, and I really loved his character, because it's through Bruce Dern's character where most of this film's importance and most of this film's meaning and significance comes from. And it's also through Bruce Dern's character where you kind of get another theme from this film, at least something that I got from the film, which is that it explores the harm in a lie. It explores the complexity of a lie, and whether or not having hope in something that is clearly not true and false is inherently harmful. And also whether or not it could be something positive. And what I like about this film is that it doesn't really cater to just one singular message, because Bruce Dern's character, his whole character revolves around the fact that he believes that he won $1 million. And the letter that he gets claiming that he won $1 million is clearly a scam. And even though everybody around him is telling him that it's complete bullshit, he's still determined to go to this location and redeem his prize. And that's something that I actually kind of respected out of his character, because he's at least being brave enough to confront the possible reality. There's plenty of people who would have continued to hold on to the illusion and just claim to everybody that, oh yeah, at one point I actually won $1 million, but I couldn't go claim it because of A, B, and C. But instead, he's determined to actually go and face the music. And I love that in this film, that determination is brought from his own personal feelings of being a failure as a father in certain ways, especially in the financial department. His son, played by Will Forte, his character is able to understand his father in a way that allows him to respect him a bit more, while also at the same time being able to look at the mirror and be able to take accountability for himself as well. But I also love how this film shows that money just brings out the worst in people. Basically, as soon as the town hears the rumor that Bruce Dern has won $1 million, a lot of them just become so leechy and parasitic and just so disgustingly vulturous. And it's one thing to be a little passive aggressive and, kindly ask for maybe some of that money, but a lot of these people kind of twist it and they make it to where they're the victims if you don't give them any money, as if you're obligated to give them money because you owe them something for whatever thing that they did for you at some point in your life. And to me, I think that's an honest representation of humanity in a way. Obviously, not everybody's like that, but human beings definitely have a consistent tendency to be that way. But one thing that I will say about the film that kind of bothered me a bit, and this is mostly apparent within the first 20 minutes, but unfortunately, I felt like I couldn't believe these characters and I couldn't really get immersed into the experience because of the fact that it just felt like actors were delivering lines. I wasn't really buying the line delivery. I wasn't buying the writing. I don't know who's really at fault here. I don't know if it was the writing or if it's on the director for telling his actors to deliver the lines in this way. But to me, unfortunately, there were a lot of moments in this film, mostly in the first 20 minutes or so, where it just felt like actors acting. And unfortunately, that's what made it hard for me to get immersed into this experience for quite some time. But either way, I still really enjoyed Nebraska. So I'm going to give this film a solid 7 out of 10. Huge thanks to Hunter. I really appreciate you requesting this film. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, a film that I've heard about ever since its release but never got around to it, so I finally was able to watch it because of you, and I'm really glad that I did. But anyways, that's all I got to say about Nebraska. If you really enjoyed what I had to say about the film, just give it a thumbs up and share it amongst your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to be updated on more film-related content.